Good afternoon and welcome to our fourth Wildlife Insight. As always, it's wonderful to have you join us today, and we will be discussing a fascinating topic: wild Russia, the land of the Siberian tiger and the Amur leopard. Organized by Classic Travel, your trusted travel partner and advisor for all outbound travel services. Before we get started with the webinar, let's just go over the house rules. If you wish to ask a question, please use the chat option. You may post your question on the chat at any point of the session, and they will be answered as we progress along with our webinar. To host this webinar, we are happy to introduce our very own acclaimed wildlife photographer, Rajiv Walikala. He has been a tour leader with over 20 years in photography and travel in Sri Lanka and the world over. He is currently working at Classic Travel, where he is leading the inbound wildlife and luxury travel experiences, and he also leads specialized wildlife tours worldwide. He held his debut solo exhibition in 2013 titled Wildlife Diaries, and in 2015 launched his first coffee table publication titled Children of Eden. He's a regular contributor to newspapers and magazines in Sri Lanka. And now it is our pleasure to welcome our very special guest, Ms. Olga Krasnykh, who is a well-experienced and highly skilled tour operator and an expert wildlife specialist for Far East Russia. Her specialities are mainly focused around arranging tours to witness the rarest species of cats in Russia: the Siberian tiger, the Amur leopard, and the Snow Leopard. It is important to mention that she is also the only operator in Russia who has special access to witness these magnificent big cats. So welcome, Olga and Rajiv. We are ready to start. Rajiv, over to you.
Thank you very much, Nicola, and a very good afternoon to everyone. And welcome, Olga. It's an honor to have you with us. And you and I have been good friends for some time, and we've been in touch discussing the amazing diversity that your country has, and especially the Russian Far East. So welcome, Olga, and I think it's good evening to you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here today, and I'm very happy to tell you more about our wild region.
Of course. So, and because while Russia is something a lot of Sri Lankans may have not really heard of, they don't realize, a lot of people, even myself, didn't realize the amazing diversity that your country has. And it just blew me away. Before we start going through what the wonders that your country has, maybe just for curiosity's sake, how did you get into wildlife, and how did you discover this amazing diversity for yourself?
I'm not a scientist, unfortunately, but I have spent half of my life deep in the forest, in the wild places, talking with rangers, with scientists, with local hunters. So we know a lot about wildlife, and we started tour operations only 5 years ago, but for this short period of time we got great success in photography of our three big cats and also other mammals and birds. So we succeed for these 5 years, and we just realized that the interest from all over the world is huge. So Russian photographers are not so interested in wildlife. So that's why we work mostly with, not mostly, only with foreigners in this area, because also foreigners respect our nature, and we always enjoy when foreign tourists come and love every plant every bird in our wild areas. So we enjoy what we are doing and hope to spread our business for the whole Russia, for another reserves and for another mammals. So this is a great potential here.
Definitely, it's amazing. Like I've been blown away for many years with the work that you do, and also the amount of wildlife you have. But for the sake of the audience, maybe you can show where exactly you're located, and because Russia is a huge country, and we are talking about the Russian Far East. So maybe you can show in a map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a second. Wait.
Yeah.
So, is it visible for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are situated. Our region is situated on the very east, on the south, on the border with China and North Korea, and so there is a population of tigers and the only population of Amur leopards here. Our territory is rather huge and wild, and primordial. So our airport is Vladivostok. From Vladivostok, we start all our tours, and our region is rather new. It is Russians came here about 150 years ago. Before, here were only small ancient civilizations and escaped Chinese prisoners and criminals and indigenous people Udege. So that's why our region remained rather clear and pristine and rather wild. We have some areas, some national parks, which were never done with agriculture or some ancient cities or something, just pure nature, and that's it, far away from civilizations. That's why rather big number of rare animals still live here. Also, there was no ice period in our region. That's why here Siberian species of flora and fauna meet with tropical species. And for example, yeah, that's why tigers and leopards live here, and such mammals like yellow-throated marten, which lives in India, for example, Himalayan bears, or ginseng, if we talk about plants, and reptiles, and so on. In winter, cold wind comes from Siberia, and it can be about -30, -40 at night time. But now it is +30, and we can't handle this. It's so it's usual for us in summertime, but during 6 months of winter, we get used to winter, and in summertime we just die of hot weather here, of typhoons. So our climate is rather interesting, and it's the only such a climate in Russia here.
Wow.
As for snow leopards, they are situated on the south of Siberia, on the border with Mongolia, Kazakhstan, and China. So it is not far east. We live on the far east, but our snow leopards live in Altai, so it's a very interesting destination as well.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you have the far east areas. Most of the forest is primary forest, I believe, right?
Yes, not the whole forest. For example, on the north of the forest is tundra, area without big trees, just bushes and grass. But for example, the north of our region is interesting because of polar bears.
Wow, get polar bears. Wow,
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah, we have everything, almost everything.
yeah,
But
except elephants.
yes, right. But interesting thing is that, for example, comparing with the US, US also has almost everything. Their nature is very different from south to north. But comparing to them, we have a lack of infrastructure, and our tourism big tourism started about maybe 5 years ago over all Russia, and all destinations are rather far away, and it is not easy to get there. That's why all mostly all regions remain very wild,
Understand.
and that's I think plus a lack of infrastructure.
Of course. So we look at some of the details, some of the parks in that region. I think you had a map with you, right? Yeah.
Sorry?
You had a map with some of the parks. I think.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at that.
I'm sorry, it is in Russian. I couldn't find it in English, but I will explain you.
Of course.
This is our region, Primoria, and if you may see the stripes, which are in pink color, this is an area where Siberian tigers inhabit. So there are about 600 Siberian tigers left in the wild in the world, and 450 of them live in our region, Primoria. So they, as you may see, they don't live only next to the lake called Hanka, and because there are no, trees, there are no wild forests. There are steppes and just lake. On the south, you may see the stripes in yellow. This is the land of Amur Leopard. This is the only place in the world where they live. Plus maybe 10 leopards in China and North Korea, and that's it. So there are now about 100 remain leopards in the wild. So, and all of them live in this area. If you may see the colored areas, purple and orange and green, these all are reserves. We have about 10 reserves and national parks, main reserves, and small reserves, maybe 10 more. So the wildest one is Bikini National Park, which is on the north. It is colored by purple color, and it is the wildest area, and about 30-40 Siberian tigers live there. There are no villages, no civilizations. That area is really great
remote.
for remote, and wildlife lovers just very surprised when they get there. Another interesting reserve is just a bit down. It is Sikhote Reserve. It is colored by orange color. This is the first reserve in Primoria which started to save Siberian tigers. this area is very wild, and their forest meet Sea of Japan, and landscapes are very different from mountains to sea coast. Maybe Rajiv, you saw my picture in Instagram of Siberian tiger in black and
on the
white color.
beach.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was first picture of Siberian tiger, and it
yeah,
was done there in that reserve.
yeah.
On the south, there is Lazovsky Reserve, also very interesting reserve full of tigers. Before, Amur Leopards lived there, but not now. But there is
Okay.
a new rehabilitation program. Maybe Amur
Mm-hmm.
Leopards will live there soon as well.
Mm-hmm.
And land of leopard, also very big and interesting national park, which is on the southwest, which
Mm-hmm.
is shown by yellow color.
Okay, so
So
land of leopards. Okay.
yes, and it is the reserve from where we started all our uh, wildlife photography route.
Mm-hmm.
There are about 35 tigers, adult tigers,
Wow, that's
live
quite a lot.
there. No, yes, and plus about 100 leopards, both
Yeah.
adult and cubs. And they live together there, very friendly, not very friendly, but they're okay with this territory, and
Yeah.
this is the most populated territory in Russia with wild cats, big
Yeah.
cats.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Other territories are also very interested. For example, there is a Udege legend in the center
Mm-hmm.
of our region. It is very decent, no villages, no civilizations as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there last winter and
Okay.
saw tigers' footprints in 50 meters from our base camp. So it's rather wild as well, and we are going to start our new photography trips there as well.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah, and um, I should also say about taiga. What is taiga? Because not many people really
Yeah.
know that. Taiga
You mean
is
TAIGA, right? Tiger, right?
Taiga, right?
Yeah.
Taiga is coniferous forest consisted mostly of pines and cedars.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly all Far East is covered by taiga, and
Mm-hmm.
this is home of Siberian tiger,
Mm.
and it's amazing forest, really amazing,
Yeah.
because our region is also interested with that fact that when you drive by a car, for example, from south to north, and you spend about 10 hours in the road, you may see
Mm-hmm.
maybe five different landscapes and forests. For example, in the north, taiga is mostly coniferous. On the south,
Mm-hmm.
taiga is a mix of coniferous oaks and
Okay.
ferns and tropical plants. So it's really very interesting. And our taiga is mostly very beautiful in autumn when it has
Yeah.
autumn
The leaves start
colors.
falling. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I may show our landscapes of my favorite uh, national parks and reserves,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
Of
For
course,
example,
we love to see the amazing
uh,
landscapes.
so this is Bikini National Park, which is on the north,
Wow.
which is homeland for tigers and indigenous
Mm-hmm.
Udege people.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is winter.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Hotelini Reserve in October. as I said before,
During
very beautiful
autumn.
colors. Yeah, autumn. On this ridge, we set on camera traps and got really amazing videos of tiger, of Siberian tiger. Yeah,
amazing.
This is Leopard Land National Park in summer. This is the area where we mostly operate our hide tourist fall photography of Amur Leopard. Yeah. This is how it looks like in winter.
Wow.
So when you sit in the hide, that's what you see during the whole week while waiting for the leopard.
Yeah. Of course, it's a patience game. Yeah.
So this is Lazovsky Reserve. Here, also mountain ridges and taiga forest meet with the Sea of Japan. Also very different landscapes and always interesting to see what's going on there from winter to autumn. So in summer times there are one activities, in winter time another activities. So very interesting to see as well. So this just my favorite reserve, which I showed you.
Oh,
they have
looks stunning. Yeah.
Thank you. So here are some pictures of our big cats. This is camera trap in leopard land.
Amazing. So it's a cub. I think a mother and one cub.
Yeah, frankly speaking, there are two another cubs, not on this photo, but next to the mother. But I couldn't find that picture.
Of course, it looks stunning.
Yeah, and this is picture of our tourist. This is leopard with name Typhoon. He's master of Kidrova Park Reserve.
Wow.
Yeah, our tourists were very happy. So this picture was taken in February, and our tourists were extremely successful when they saw him during the whole week. So this leopard came every day during the whole week, and they saw him and were very surprised because there are only 100 leopards left, and this is
critically endangered. Yeah. One thing I noticed, Olga, is the coat and the coloration is completely different from other leopards we see in Sri Lanka or India or Africa. They're just so different. It's amazing.
Yeah. But interesting thing about Amur Leopard that they color differ in summer and in winter time. In winter it is more like orange. In summer times not so. Sorry. In winter it is like more white, not so colorful. In summertime it is more orange, and the same with tiger as well. So they change their fur in spring, and in summer their fur is twice shorter. That's why they feel comfortable during our plus 30 degrees summer. And this is very interesting picture. It is made in Photoshop with the help of 4 pictures taken on camera trap from one place, and it shows us the difference in sizes between our 4 wild cats which live in our area. So this is Siberian tiger, Amur leopard, lynx, and the smallest one is Amur cat, which is very easy to see also in our trips. The most difficult, by the way, is lynx. Because
so this is this the Eurasian lynx which you see there?
It is not Eurasian, but it is close to it. I'm sorry, I don't remember how it is in English, but it's They are just close
Okay.
in appearance. So you
Tiger,
just
massive. This must be a big male. I think it looks amazing, huge. It's, for a lot of people in the audience, just to let you know, the Siberian tiger is the largest cat in the world. Right? It's much bigger than any other cat. From this image itself, you can see how amazing and huge they are.
yeah. Siberian tiger may weigh to 320, 350 kilos, male
Wow.
tiger, and female can weigh about 180 kilos
Oh.
in average. Yeah, they are really huge. When you see it in the forest, you just you can't believe you think it's something huge and it's like dinosaur. But I saw Amur Leopard in the wild,
Mhm.
and I was surprised. It is not really big. It's like
Mm.
not a cat, but
Yeah.
really comparing with tiger, it's
Yeah. Of course.
just maybe a half of average human
Mm.
height.
Yeah.
So, and Amur leopards are not dangerous for people, but
Mhm.
tigers are a bit
Of
dangerous.
course. Definitely. Of course.
um, so, uh, what's next? I may show you some pictures of our tourists
Yeah.
taken from the hide. Yes,
Wow.
this is
Beautiful.
leopard with name Sophia.
Yeah.
Usually national parks give names
Mhm.
to leopards and tigers. Not
Right.
all of them, but mostly
Mm.
many of them. This is male leopard without name because it is rather young, and we
Yeah.
are
It's young.
waiting.
Looks like a cub. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the cub of previous leopard.
Okay.
And this is again
Beautiful.
typhoon from Kedrova Apat, which is a part of Leopard Land National Park. This is a cub of a tiger, which was
We can just go back to Typhoon because I think the screen took a bit of time, Olga. Yeah.
sorry. Oh,
There's a
yeah.
bit of a delay. Go back.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This is typhoon.
Yeah.
Can you see
Wow.
typhoon?
You can see how his you can see how big his belly is. He's like must be after eating something because it looks very thick and
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
he feels not really hungry in winter time. You may see that. And before our tourists thought that this is a pregnant leopard. uh, so you may see here frozen river. So
Mm.
they like to use frozen rivers in winter
Yeah.
time when it is snowy because it's easier to get somewhere.
Yeah.
The same frozen river with a cup of Amur Siberian tiger.
Wow.
Yes, and during this photography, his mom was not far away and
Mhm.
roared very loud, and our tourists were not very felt not very comfortable in the hide, sitting in the hide.
Yeah.
And so they came one by one with typhoon, with a time difference about 20 minutes, and that was
Oh,
a huge
same place.
success.
Wow.
Yeah. This tiger is from another area. It is from Lazo, and it was photographed by a local hunter who was waiting for a boar, but
Okay.
she came to to the place and spent there about 2 hours and
Wow.
didn't let the hunter of the height. So they mostly the highest success for tigers photography is summertime because they feel much braver when the grass is tall. They may hide in it, and in particularly in this area, there are soy fields where Himalayan bears come to lick soy milk. Soy, yeah, and Siberian tigers follow them, hunt them, and so it's very interesting to see first when 5 Himalayan bears come to the field, and then a family of Siberian tigers hunt them.
It's something new to me that of course, I've heard occasional reports of tigers hunting bears even in India, but it's amazing to know that it's happening quite regularly over in Lazo.
Yeah, it is happening, but unfortunately, we wanted to do our first summer tour this year, but failed because of the world situation. But all these pictures and evidence of their hunting for Himalayan bears came from the local hunters. So they tell us about that.
Amazing.
So yeah. This is camera trap footage, and this is from Bikini National Park, and this is a family, and they roar to each other. There is a set of pictures, and there we may see how they fight, but not like for food. This was like a lover's game.
Like a mating pair.
Yeah. This is our camera trap in Lazo area, so you may see how our nature changed from summer to winter. This is April, and we set up camera trap of our tourist. He wanted us to leave it for half of a year, and so we do this picture and send just them to him to Germany. And he's very happy to receive such pictures every month.
So this is a male tiger, is it? Looks like a big male.
I think so, but we can't take pictures from all sides. Maybe it could be also female, but we are not sure. So
beautiful.
Thank you.
Your photographs are amazing. It just gives us, you feel like you're already there.
And going to Siberia. Here is our Snow Leopard. I call this picture Pink Panther. This is camera trap. Before it was very difficult to find them in Altai mountains. But about 7 years ago, there was a new national park set there, and now they save these amazing cats. And from last March, it became possible to do photo tours there for snow leopards. So we know good rangers there, and now we started to cooperate in heights photography from future autumn. the new heights will be set there, and it will be possible to do the same pictures like with our Amur leopards and Siberian tigers.
Okay. So, but how is the elevation? Like I'm sure, like it's difficult
It
to
is
sometimes for people to trek. Yeah.
it is 2.5 kilometers. So that's why it is much more comfortable for people not to wait for rehabilitation, for how it is called in Himalayas when you feel bad.
Yeah.
I was there 1 year ago, and I felt really good there in those mountains. And also, we call these mountains Russian Shambhala because they are also sacred, like Himalayas. And the one more advantage of such tours, there are no crowds of tourists now, like comparing with Himalayas or with Mongolia tours. Just a second, here is a question, yeah.
Yeah. So, could you tell us more about how Siberian tiger differs from Asia? Just to inform who the listener, there is no African tigers. There are only tigers in Asia. Apart from the change of the color during winter and summer.
Thank you for this question. First of all, Siberian tigers are bigger than Bengal tigers because they have more fat, because they in wintertime they need more energy. That's why they eat more. And gather this fat for winter time. For example, in summertime they thinner than in winter time. What other differences? Their areas are much bigger than in Indian. For example, I don't remember the density of tigers in India, but I know that there are many tigers living in one small area, back to back. This is not about Siberian tigers. Usual male tiger has its own area of about 400 square kilometers. Female tigers has their area, personal area, for 100, 200 kilometers. So they have huge areas, and they walk over the territory to check everything, and so they have bigger areas than Bengal tigers. One more interesting difference is that Bengal tigers are really dangerous for people. They attack people, but Siberian tiger attack people very, very rare. We have very small amount of conflicts with tigers and people. This is very interesting fact because before, when Russians came to the Far East, there were about 100 murders per year when tigers attack people. So Russians started to kill tigers not for like bones or derivatives, just because they were enemies. And in 1940, it were only about 50 tigers left in our region. And there is a theory that these were the most careful tigers, and after Soviet government started to save them after World War II, the population started to increase, but this population came from that last 50 tigers, and we think that genetic code was changed. The most cautious tigers left here, and that's what I think one of the main differences between Bengal and Siberian tigers.
So what the theory is that the more ferocious, aggressive tigers were killed off, and who were left were the more cautious, more elusive tigers. So who are left, that's why the genetic makeup is like that, and their behavior is more to be elusive and more to be like secretive rather than be aggressive.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's amazing. And there's another question. I think it also relates to this. Do you know anything about how indigenous people, I guess the Uruguay, how they coexisted? I think I also have read that they revere this as a god called Amba, right?
Yeah,
Amba, the god of the forest. Yeah.
Yes, Siberian tiger is like a god for Uduge people. They have two main gods, brown bear and Siberian tiger. Siberian tiger is like an evil for them. It is also god, but when they believe that if they see a tiger in the forest, it means two things. Whether you're not very good man and you do something bad, your karma is not very good. And second, tiger god Amba warns you about something bad in future, and you have to be careful in your life and change your habits and so on. They have many sculptures about tigers, so they do like offerings for tigers, for tiger gods, and they also believe one interesting thing that there is a mountain in Bikini National Park called Sangeli, where all tigers go to die. So it is difficult to find dead tiger in the forest. That's why they believe when tiger becomes old or weak, they all come to this mystical mountain to die. So they have many fairy tales about tigers, and also they wear masks. Uduge people wear masks on the back of their head. Yeah, because if a tiger follow you in the forest from your back, it will never attack you.
On the back of the head. Yes, of course. That's a practice. I think even in India and Bangladesh they do that because And there's one more question from about hunting. So thing is, in Sri Lanka, almost all wildlife it's illegal to hunt. So that's why it's a quick question. What are the animals which are allowed to be hunted in that region? I'm sure it's like deer and wild boar, but you can explain, I guess.
That's right. There are 4 species of deer. 2 of them are possible to be hunted, and wild boar, and some small mammals like raccoon dogs, and Himalayan and brown bears are also possible to be hunted, but you have to do special license for that. We have special months for every season. Animal, special season, not all year round. We have many hunting clubs here. We also operate our photography tours there. And before, I think it's not very good to operate hunting club, to hunt these poor wild deers and boars. But then we realized that hunting club is responsible hunting club is very good place for tigers, for increasing populations of all wild mammals, because hunting club has to do agriculture in summer to feed ungulates in winter time, ungulates and brown and black bears. So the amount of ungulates and bears increases there, and the amount of tigers, of course, increases as well. So this is a good news for everyone, for responsible hunters, for photographers, for everyone. So
the hunting, they hunt for mainly for meat, is it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, there is, hunting for pleasure from city guys, but mostly for meat, of course, for wild meat. So if you hunt not in the hunting club, but in just in the free forest or in national park or in the reserve, you can be fined or even imprisoned.
Yeah,
You have to buy. You have to buy special license here.
License.
Yeah.
Okay, but of course, tigers and all the cats are protected, right?
Yeah, sure. Before, it was a huge poaching here, especially in 90s when Soviet Union fall down, and the economic situation was very bad, and everybody lost their jobs, and people went to forest to hunt everything from raccoon dog to Siberian tiger, and they sold everything to China in enormous amounts. I may show you one heartbreaking picture. Enormous amount of derivatives to China, but now situation is better. But there is another problem now about China. 2 years ago, China canceled their ban for selling derivatives, tigers and rhinos derivatives for medical purposes, and that's very bad news for our tiger. Chinese say that it doesn't influence on wild nature. They will use only domestic products, the tigers from safari parks and so on. But it is not true, because all Chinese always ask for wild products. But now the situation in our region is rather good. Of course, poaching exists here, but not in such huge amounts like in Africa. So there is a hope for. We are optimistic about this. We hope, because every year we get census figures, and we see how
census figures.
How Amur leopards and Siberian tigers population increases every year. So we are optimistic about everything here. But there is a lot of work.
Of course.
We believe responsible photography tourism will save our wildlife, because when locals, villagers, countrymen doesn't understand where to take money, of course they will go to the forest to dig ginseng, to kill mammals and to sell it to China. But when we started to work with hunting clubs, with villagers, with former hunters, they were suspicious about our job, but now we explain to everybody what we do. Then they saw the crowd of tourists, of our foreign tourists who love our place. Then they started to get tips and from tourists and salaries from us. So and everybody were happy to shift their poaching habits to just to tourism. For example, in this picture, this is our ranger Yura. He we call him our local Dirsu Zala. You may know this name. And he's a great ranger. He helps us with Amur Leopards and Siberian Tigers sightings. We know everything about the forest, and very interesting info about him, that he's a former hunter, but one day he felt very, very bad, and he went to shaman. He's Buddhist, and he went to Buddhist animalist, and he went to shaman who told him that he had to give up hunting. And
to the shaman, okay.
After that, he gave up hunting, felt much better, moved to our region, and since that time we worked with him and very successfully. So responsible tourism is a good thing.
That's great to hear. Yeah. Just quickly before we go on, a few questions. One question is, can there be interbreeding between the species? Which, of course, I think it's highly unlikely. Even in India, you get the tigers and leopards, and there are no cases of interbreeding. But I think, Olga, you also can answer that.
Inbreeding, you mean when?
No, between species. There are two different species, so it's very unlikely that it can happen. It's
a leopard tiger, you mean?
Yeah.
Never heard about that here.
And one of the questions we got twice is, what's the best time to visit? Is it summer or winter?
It depends on your tour travel purpose. If you want to photograph tigers and leopards on the snow, the best time is from November to March. The chances to photograph leopards are the best from November to March. But the chances for Siberian tigers are the best in July and August, on summertime, when everything is green. But I know that people from south, like from Sri Lanka, from India, always want to take pictures of a tiger in the snow. In the snow, it's rather difficult. But if you are rather passionate, and can feel the cold, so it's better to come in winter.
Dedicated and patient.
Yeah. Concerning other parts of traveling, if you want just do hiking in taiga, it's better to come from July to October, especially in September and October, when it is not so hot and no typhoons here. The most comfortable weather is September and October. And what else? Himalayan bears is July and August.
How about Snow Leopard?
It's March.
Okay.
But it's also rather cold there. It's about -30. Altai region is much colder than our region, but this is time for the mating period.
Mating time. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see some of the heights that you work with. I think it's quite interesting to see that.
This is these are tower heights for Siberian tigers photo. Now we built new heights, ground heights.
At the
There are
ground.
two ground heights now in that area for Siberian tigers. And in another areas we also will build the ground heights because it is better for photography. But tower heights are better for wildlife watching. You may watch around, you may watch birds and other mammals, but when you are in ground height, it's rather boring activity, I should say, for tiger especially. Next heights are for leopards in different areas. So usually our tourists spend there about 1 week without going out or going out only once per week. It's very boring as well. But it is all we give food for the whole week. There is a bio toilet there. There are beds inside. It is heated. It is warm there, and it is really for passionate photographers.
So you have the toilets and a place you can make your food also. Okay.
Yes, right. And we give plenty of water there, so you may live there. Sometimes our tourists SMS us that we are bored. It's so because leopard is not all the time there. So sometimes you should spend 4 days in a row to see the first leopard. But when they take the first picture of leopards, they feel like the happiest guys in the world. Usually, I see they happy eyes, and we enjoy. We always enjoy what we are doing when we see their eyes after success of the trip.
Of course,
So these are heights. These are houses, like cottages in different areas. There's usual Russian house, village house, where our tourists spend their time when they are not in the height. So they are heated. There is Russian banya. It is like wet sauna, Russian traditional
like
banya.
A
Very
Russian
interesting experience.
Yes.
When you go from very hot banya to the snow and just put snow on your body. This is very interesting experience for all foreigners.
I've seen you use some branches also, right, to hit the back.
Of course.
So it's a Russian pastime.
And you will there will be no toxins in your body after this experience. We will do that. Usually our accommodation is shared, but it is possible to order your own room in our trips, but it depends on the group size, so it is discussable.
But of course, most of your time you are spending in the hide, right? So you're spending about a week in the hide, and then you come back for a few days to rest.
Yes,
right?
That's right. For leopards, but in tiger trip you may go for overnight in the house.
Okay.
Because tigers are unpredictable guys, so they don't they don't afraid of traffic. So you may come in the morning and go out in the evening. But if you will do the same with leopards, they will not come to the height. So less traffic, more chances.
Yeah.
Maybe some words about our food in the trips. No, first about safari trips. When you're tired of sitting in the height, you may just go to small safari trips, which last for 1-2 hours, to take pictures of other mammals, or
Landscape.
to meet tiger on your route. So more activities on your trip, more chances. This is about Siberian tigers. Vice versa with leopards. And you may go also in Siberian tiger strip. You may also go to the beach side to photograph eagles, different birds. You may meet also tiger on the beach side. The chances are not big, but it is possible. This group saw whales in the sea, but the pictures of whales
also.
We have everything.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Here are some other mammals of our region. Sorry. This is Amur cat, Himalayan bear, yellow-throated marten, and my friend Siberian weasel, which comes every day to the leopard's hide. He's very
This is the one, the weasel in the bright yellow, or the on the light brown,
which is on the right.
Okay. Wow. They're very small, isn't it?
Yeah, rather small guy. Not it's less than fox, for example, but more than, I don't know, mouse.
They are known as quite feisty predators, even though they are quite small in relation to the big animals like the cats. They are known as quite aggressive predators, and they're good hunters.
Interesting. And it is possible to see fox, raccoon dog here, a lot of deers, and very rare species of eagle, white-tailed eagle, which is possible to be seen here from November to March. Usually people go to Hokkaido in Japan to see them, but it is very easy to see them in our region as well. In Altai Mountains, another interesting cat is Palace cat.
Very rare cat to say, is beautiful.
Yeah. Which is the chances to see it maybe 50-50, but rather possible. Very, very nice guys. Maybe some videos.
Yeah, of course, we'd love to see that.
This video.
Two Amur Leopards.
It may be rather slow.
Yeah,
it was taken in our Leopard strip in a distance of 1 kilometer.
Wow.
Sound is faster than video.
That's all right. We can see the visually.
In the end of the video, 2 leopards go to the other side. So this was amazing, really amazing to see 2 of last 100 leopards in the world just in first 10 minutes when tourists just came to our area.
Yeah.
Here is a video from camera trap. Look how gorgeous it is.
It's a beautiful. I think this is a. It looks like a big male for sure. The size of the head. This is amazing. Wow. This would be a dream photograph for me if I could see this. And it's seven degrees Celsius.
Yeah, it's April,
Yeah.
rather warm
Yeah.
for us. Here is a
Yeah.
question. Okay, I got it. Yellow and black mammal.
Yes. Yeah.
This one is yellow-throated marten. It is
Yeah.
also in
Yellow-throated marten. Yeah.
it is also inhabits in India.
India. Yeah. I've
It's a
seen some
very
pictures. Yes.
interesting animal. It is like a mix between monkey and fox. Such interesting behavior.
But I think it's closer to the weasel. It's related more to the weasel, and
Yes.
I think also
Yes.
closer to the wolverine. That side, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
And there's another question, Olga. Since Primorsky Krai borders China and Korea, is it possible to see Siberian tigers and Amur leopards in that area as well?
In China,
China
in
or
China and
northern
Korea,
China or yeah, Korea, yeah.
in North Korea, no, of course. Nah, but in China, there is a national park which is close, which borders with our Leopard Land National Park.
So
I
they
don't
might
know.
move.
I don't know if they run tours or something. This is just a national park to reintroduce tigers and
Right.
leopards there. Maybe in
Understand.
future they will do that. But from my side, I should say their forest is how to say reintroduced. This
Okay,
is
it's
like
like a
new
secondary
forest.
or tertiary forest.
Yeah, there were many villages there, and they just
Yeah.
moved these villages to another part of China and try to reintroduce their forest. I don't know, maybe what will be happened in future.
Yeah.
I hope they will succeed with population increase.
Of course, for the sake of the species. And another question, I think we discussed this earlier as well, about why they don't, yeah, they don't attack humans. I think we discussed that most probably they are the aggressive tigers would have been eliminated historically, and because of that, maybe more docile, more elusive ones are left, and that must be the reason. But also, I maybe as you suggested, the tigers have a large territory, right? Large region. Not they're not too confined to a small space.
Maybe this is also a reason, one of the reasons. But
Yeah.
you know, when there are a lot of stories when you walk in the forest and just feel, you always feel when Siberian tigers look at you.
Yeah, I heard
It's
that.
just
I
a
heard about that.
place. Yeah, yeah. You just, I felt, I got this feeling several times, and this is not very good feeling. But it never attacks if you don't attack. They usually pursue people who attacked them before. They always make a revenge for people, except for that person who attacked the tiger. So they always remember the exact person. And there is one interesting thing that Siberian tigers don't attack women, never attack women. There is
women. Oh, okay.
no
So then you are
cases
safe.
at all.
So Olga, you're safe. You can walk in the
Yeah,
forest
yeah.
again.
That's why I feel rather brave in the forest.
Yeah. Another question is, did the collapse of the Soviet Union affect wildlife?
Yes, it affected dramatically because before all reserves and national parks got money from the government. But when Soviet Union collapsed, there were no money even in hospitals and in schools. And the reserves were the last place where new Russian government wanted to give money. And so, as I already said before, in 90s there were a huge poaching. Plus, it was a huge logging. Every, I don't know, second person wanted to cut the wood and sold it to China. But you know, WWF and some other local foundations saved the situation finally, and now more and more reserves are studied on new territories in our region and in other regions of Russia. So as I already said, we see on the situation rather optimistic. We hope everything will be good with our wildlife.
Of course, that's good to hear. Question which I have with you, always like when you're getting to the hides, is it like is it a long hike, or do you take them by a vehicle? How do you operate that?
No, it is not a hike. It is sometimes, you know, when tourists just want to walk in the snow. But usually we use like these cars in the Tiger store. So it is about half an hour drive from base camp to the heights by these vehicles. And something like that in Leopards tour as well.
I want a photograph of you driving a quad bike, an ATV.
ATV. Yeah. In some of our areas here, we use ATV as well. It's a nice experience for tourists.
Oh. And anything else you'd like to show us? Maybe you can see.
I wanted to show you our food as well.
I've seen some amazing photographs. We didn't like, you know, it makes anyone want to go there. It's amazing.
Our cuisine is very interesting, Far Eastern cuisine, because it is not Russian, it is not Asian. It is a mix of Russian traditional food, Uzbekistan traditional food, Georgian, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and plus seafood and taiga products. So our tourists are never stay hungry in our tours. Everybody
I saw some great food, because I'm sure you must having a lot of great produce from the area.
Yeah, it is possible to eat some products of taiga, like ferns. It is for vegetarians, like mushrooms, like berries. Wild meat is possible from deer farms. What else? Our tourists are always excited about king crab.
The crab. It's the king crab.
Yeah, it is easy to get it here, and it's not expensive like in Alaska or in Japan. So king crab is another visit card of our region.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I think there's so much to experience. It's the wildlife, the landscapes, the sceneries, and also the food and hospitality, which, you know, I can't wait to get there, Olga, because unfortunately due to this COVID problem, we had to postpone most of our tours. But from next year onwards, we are confident in running tours to your part of the world.
Great. We will be very happy to host you here. One more video left about Snow Leopard in Altai Mountains. It was in this place we will set up the heights for photography, and this is the most populated place with Snow Leopard, and it is very distant from civilizations. And you may get there only via helicopters. So this will be our new, very excited tours.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think there's one question. There's a I think a misinterpretation. You mentioned products from the taiga. So, some
taiga.
people in the audience have thought that they are eating tiger. Yeah. So, taiga is Taiga. So, that is the type of habitat which is the forest habitat is called the taiga. Taiga. So, the products from the forest, not the tiger. And another question.
We are like Udage people. We like indigenous people. Tiger is also like a god for us.
Amba. They call Amba. AMBA. Yeah.
At least for our company. So we will never eat products of tiger. Only from tiger.
No, I knew that question was going to come because of the pronunciation. I think I knew that somebody might get a
misunderstanding with these two words and with Russian accent.
Yeah, of course. There's another question, but I think it's asking about Siberian Huskies. It's a breed of dog, so it's a domestic animal, and it's a different. It's not a wild animal, so you don't see them in the wild. But you do get wolves, I think, right?
Not in our region, but in Russia, yes. Wolves don't live together with Siberian tigers. If the population of wolves increases, it means that the population of tigers decreases. It's the main indicator.
Okay. And and there's no more questions. So I think we look forward to organizing some tours with you, Olga, and for everyone listening out there. So Classic Travel is the official partner for these tours, and we are excited to offer some amazing wildlife experiences. And starting off with, if anybody has private plans to, like, small group or a number of people, if they wish to organize to visit Russia, please do get in touch with us. You can contact us on our official email or website, and we'll organize and with Olga an amazing experience for you over in Russia. And that being said, thank you so much, Olga, for your time. And we are honored to have officially partnered with you and your organization. And we hope that we can do some amazing photo tours. And I can't wait to head over there. Like I said, I might need a Russian passport as well.
Thank you, everybody, to come today. It was a pleasure to talk about our region. I always can talk about it. I can talk about it all the time. So it will be a pleasure to host you here. And
definitely.
We'll do our best here.
So thank you so much. And so everyone, please stay tuned for our updates of our latest tours. Of course, this year is a bad year for us. We are not traveling, but once things improve next year, we are definitely going to organize some amazing wildlife experiences, including Russia. And starting with, if you do have any private, you wish to book anything, just let us know. We can organize it for you. Special photography tours. So thank you everyone for listening in, and Nicola, over to you.
Thank you, Rajiv. Yes, well, Olga, Rajiv, once again, we have succeeded in completing another wonderful session. I think I speak behalf of all when I say it was highly informative. Olga, a very special thank you to you for being part of this and for helping us make this webinar a total success. Finally, we thank all our participants for joining with us today. As Raju mentioned before, we have seen a fair amount of challenges this year with regards to travel, but things are gently picking up and we are looking forward to a gradual recovery. That being said, we are in the process of having some exciting wildlife tours lined up for next year, so stay tuned and don't forget to follow our Classic Travel Facebook page and Instagram page for updates and more exciting news. As we wrap up, we wish you all the very best. Stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.